Alright man, what's the deal? Back with another video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to do a wavelength taper for a waver with a taper on the sides and the back and enhancements added. So you're going to be going from looking like this to this. So the first thing I like to do is I like to rub my client down with 70% or 91% alcohol. It really dries out the skin and it make it easier to line them up later on. So I come in with my 1.5 guard halfway open and I cut the hair with the grain. I try to make sure that in this swirl area that I open the guard up fully to make sure I don't cut it too low. Because as other people who cut know, the swirl area is sensitive and a lot of time it can be left looking bald if you don't be careful around that area. So then I like to open my guard all the way up and go against the grain behind the ears, along the hairline, behind the ears and along the hairline to just even everything up, make everything lay flat. I really hate when I'm doing a cut and I cut everything down even, but those areas still just look a little bulky and just still look a little nappy. So I like to take this step just to make sure everything is laying even. And then it's also going to help with the lineup later. And it's going to make the lineup, you know what I'm saying, more true to what it is once you line it up. So then I come in with my gold FX skeletons and make the lines of demarcation for my tapers on the sides and the back. This client did want his sideburns. So then I come in with my WAHL magic clip, go up about 3/4 of an inch, and make that first line on the fade, or the second line on the fade. Then I open my clipper up halfway, and I get to knocking that line out. And as you can see, everything is coming together smoothly. You can see the blend happening already. So then I close it all the way to knock out that bottom line. And this got to be the easiest part of the taper. So then I put my number 1 guard on and I do the same exact thing that I just did without the guard. I open it up completely and I go up about 3/4 of another inch, making sure I comb down after every few strokes. So I put my half guard on, open the lever halfway, and I get to knocking out that line that I just created with the 1. Then I close the half guard and get to knocking out that bottom line, and as you can see, everything is coming together smoothly. I try to use the corner of my blade to get those areas that I wouldn't be able to get if I was using my whole blade, and it allowed me to be a little more specific, where it's like one spot that I can't necessarily get. It allowed me to be a lot more specific, so I use the corner of the blade as much as possible. So right here I take the blade back off and I'm just spot checking my work, making sure that everything is nice and consistent and everything is blending well. So then I come with my 1.5 guard, I open it fully. I'm just doing the same thing that I did with the other guards. Go up about another 1/2 inch. And I'm trying to debulk this hair to prep it for the 1 guard that I'm about to put on right after this. In this step, you see I came down with the grain because I'm trying to debulk as much as possible to make my blend with this 1 that I just put on halfway open a little more flush. So then I start alternating the lever on my guard to try to get the desired look. So as you can see, I'm putting the half guard on, taking the guard off completely, and I'm just spot checking my work. Came back in with the 1.5 guard, debulking, because as you can see, it's a little bulk in the top of that fade area. Came back with that 1, debulked some more. I'm basically just doing whatever I need to make sure that the taper look exactly how I want it to look. Not giving up, not moving on to the next step until I got it looking exactly how I want it to look. And as y'all can see, It's coming out fabulously. So boom, that's the back taper. Once I put a line up on it, it's gonna look exactly how I need to look. So with the side taper, I use the exact same steps that I used on the back, but I gotta be a little more careful because I got a lot less room to work with. So after opening the guard up completely, I go halfway, then I close it completely to knock out that bottom line. As I said about the back, this is probably the easiest part of the taper because you don't need any guard. It's gonna cut true. And so then I come in with that one. I'm doing the same exact thing I did in the back, going up about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. But I'm making sure I'm going the opposite direction of how the hair grows. Instead of just, you know what I'm saying, going up diagonally like a normal hair pattern would, I have to make sure that I'm doing a taper that is tailored to his style of hair and how his hair lay. That's extremely important in making sure that you taper correctly. You know what I'm saying? And you can see with my combing motion, I'm kind of combing back in this area because that's how his hair grow. And I'm making sure I get behind the ears. So I'm using my 1.5 guard now. I'm debulking the top of the taper. With wavers, it can get a little confusing because something that looked like bulk could really just be a wave. With me, I try to blend a wave out as much as possible for a person who's getting a taper anyway. So on this side, I'm doing the exact same steps as the back and the other side. But you can see on this side, the hair comes down in more of a traditional pattern. So I gotta approach this one a little different than the other side. And that's how it is on most clients though. Most clients, one side of their hair is it growing a different pattern than the other side. So you're gonna have to do things a little bit differently depending on the client's hair. But that's just something important to think about for beginning barbers who may wanna do the exact same steps, but not being as successful because the hair isn't growing the same way. You know what I'm saying? So just something to think about. Man, it's extremely important to make sure you get that area behind the ear. It's an easy area to neglect because it's gonna take you out of the necessary zone for a taper. But I always try to make sure I get behind the ear because I want everything to blend smoothly. And I don't want my work to look amateur, so I just take the time necessary. And then I don't be scared of the hair. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm in control of how this haircut come out, so I just try to take my time, man, and do whatever it takes to make sure it's right. And like I was saying before, you don't have to use the entire blade. You can just use that edge of that blade in an area where you know what I'm saying, not necessarily that comfortable with, or you don't want to mess up. You can just use the edge. And as you can see, I'm still doing some debulking work, making sure that everything is laying down flat, because when I line them up, I want everything to be as flat as possible. Right now, I just put my finishing touches on the taper. Getting behind that ear, make sure it's not that big bulky line. So then I come in with my motions, hair foam, mousse. It lay the hair down and it make the waves pop for a waver. Then I put some spritz on him, lock the hair down, and I come right in with my Gold FX skeletons and get to putting that back line on him. I always try to make sure I get that line behind that ear. So boom, I go straight in on the top line. And I don't really have a method to how I do lineups. It just depends on the client. right now I'm using my Andes Coreless T outliners. I really don't have a preference on which liners I use. It just depends on what works for certain clients, because different hair take the different liners differently, you know what I'm saying? So whatever works for the client. Right now I'm just arcing my C cup. I try to use the edge of the blade as much as possible to get the look that I'm going for. I try to always make sure I'm using a mirror too, man, because it allows me to see stuff that my natural eye won't see. You know what I'm saying? So I try to use the mirror as much as possible to make sure I ain't messing up, or, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times something that you think look good, you look in the mirror and it don't look good. I do that for my line and for my fade. Then I try to brush the hairline as much as possible during the lineup, just to make sure that the line is really what it is. It's really more so for the client, because it could be crispy in the seat, but once they go home and get in the shower, the hair gonna fall over the hairline anyway, and you want to make sure that the cut that you gave them looks as close to that time when they get out the shower as possible. So then I come in with my Andes corded T outliners, and I just put on the finishing touches as far as for the first go around on the hairline. So then I come in with the Barber Magic Pencil, and I just highlight the edges of the hairline. On this one I got like a brown or like beige colored one, and it flowed perfectly with his skin. I just really started using the pencil this year, and what I'm learning is that you don't necessarily have to use it on the entire hairline, because it'll make the hairline look too fake, you know what I'm saying? So you want to really just highlight certain portions of the hairline in order to give it that pop look. But for this particular client, since his skin tone is so close to the pencil, it really come out real good. So, but when I first got it, I was going crazy with it, I ain't gonna lie. So then I come in with the spritz. I like everything down, like everything in place. And I did do a light enhance with the hair fibers. And as you can see, just the pencil and the fibers just take the haircut to the next level. So take a good haircut from good to great. And so now I'm just blending in the magic pencil, because it is concealer. So I just want to smear it in just to make it kind of give it that ash line look that a lot of us barbers like to take in our pictures. Just give it that ash line look, and it just make the hairline pop a lot more. But I'm just using my liners to smear it in and to do the final touches as far as the hairline and bringing the whole mix up together. So then I come in with my razor, trying to put everything together. And this is like also to help smearing the pencil, so it can look natural but still outstanding at the same time. And as y'all can see, man, this haircut is, I charged my boy up. This is one of my favorite clients though anyway. I've been cutting him for like a couple years. Right, like 4. And boom, this is the final haircut. Waves popping. So make sure y'all like and subscribe. I got a lot more where this came from. And leave what you think in the comments, man. What you think? What you think I did wrong? What you think I did right? What you think I can improve on? Any questions? And I'll see y'all next time, man. Boom.